Welcome, Flyers fans. You're listening to Chris Mayer, Flyers Fan Mania 93 on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia Flyers have won their first game of 2022. They pick up a win in the last game of January. They break the 13-game losing streak. This game was actually very fun, very... I was on my edge of my seat for most of it. There was a lot of good things in this game, and I know a lot of the fans got rewarded in this one because of the snow and everything. That a lot of the people they moved Wells Fargo Center moved the people from the 200s down to the 100 level, and they also gave out free soda, pretzel, and hot dogs for all the fans as well in certain sections. So that was really cool. It was a nice gesture there by Wells Fargo Center. Obviously there's a lot of things that go into that with the snow and everything. Probably didn't have as many ushers or workers to work up be down there to work at the game. So I'm curious if that'll happen tonight with the Sixers as well, but we'll see what happens there. But again, this was a really good game from the Flyers, and there was a lot of positive things. And it was obviously the biggest thing was they won the game. They picked up the win for the first time this year, and in this calendar year, I should say, not of the season. They took a lot of good steps in that direction to try to maybe get a handful of wins in a row here. And, it felt like the Flyers played with jump. I mean, it wasn't like one of them games where they kind of sat back or anything like that. Like, I know Los Angeles had 40 shots, but the Flyers had 36 of their own. It was a very even game stats-wise, honestly. They were more block shots for the Flyers. Flyers had 20. Giveaways were about even at 12-11 in favor of Los Angeles, and hits were 23-13 in favor of the Flyers. And the Kings, they did score on a power play goal, but in this game, there's a lot of good things, and breaking it down from the lines, you have Lindblom with Giroux and Atkinson, Van Riemsdyk, Lawton, and Konechny, Willman, Frost, Mayhew, and then Ratcliffe makes his NHL debut with Connor Bunneman, centering that line with McEwen on the right. Defense was Provorov and Braun, Sanheim, Ristolainen, Yandel, and York, and Carter Hart was obviously in net. So really good ceremony at the start for Yandel. It's great stuff, really nice video, great touch by the Flyers, and I know there were some boos for Chuck Fletcher there, and obviously with everything going on, it's probably expected. So first period, Konechny has a chance early. Beautiful passing play by him and Lawton. It was a great, really nice save by Quick. Anthony Ciu hit a post in close, so both teams trade chances early. Very physical play from the Flyers, though, for most of this period. Ristolainen had a nice hit. Ratcliffe, Bunneman had a nice hit as well in this game. And then the Kings would get the first power play of the game, and it was interference call on Mayhew. Unfortunate because he got his stick slashed out of his hands about, maybe 10 seconds before this penalty was called, and they didn't call anything there. Then they called the interference call on him, so that it's kind of just unfortunate, but not the best penalty Mayhew probably wants to take there. But the Flyers killed it off. Hart had a handful of good saves. Kings moved the puck very well, and many different guys rotated and then cycled that. But Hart was the best penalty killer for really all of this game, and especially on this first power play. Lindblom had a pass in front that was almost tip home. The Kings, again, they continued to move the puck really well, and I give the Flyers credit because they did keep everything to the outside for the most part, but LA did a really good job of cycling, getting around the Flyers, just moving it with, they moved it quick, and it was something the Flyers couldn't really adapt to, but they get a play here where they get a little 4-on-2 rush, and Frost makes a great play at the line where he stops, finds Ristolainen, and Risto with a great move on the deke there on Byfield, passes it over to Mayhew, and the Flyers get the 1-0 lead there. That's Mayhew's second in as many games, and again, it's a great setup because Frost has done that a lot this year, and there's been many plays where he'll kind of make that really nice pivot, and he does it right at the blue line and behind the net are two plays where he does it a lot, and he's able to set up guys a good amount of times, and the Flyers get a goal there. So Provorov had a really nice exit as well out of the defensive zone. Kings had some pressure there, and it felt like there were times in this period where the Flyers were stuck in their own zone for a good amount of time, but they come out of this period with a lead. And Ratcliffe had a really nice hit. They had a good shift again by that Frost line to end the period, and it was a nice shift by the fourth line right there at the end, and then a nice hit by Bunneman. So again, it was a good handful of solid shifts there in a row from the third and fourth line, and then the Flyers would end the period with a power play to start the second with 3.7 seconds left. Interference call there. Willman would draw that one. It was a pretty solid period overall for the Flyers. Hart made good saves. York, Frost, Ratcliffe, they all look good. Both teams had their looks and extended time in the offensive zone. It was just like more of a kind of back and forth seesaw kind of period. So the second period starts, and there is again the power play for the Flyers. Handful of good looks, Konechny and JVR. And Drew actually made a play where he looked like, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he faked the dump in and then basically like just smacked the puck over to Atkinson, and he came into the zone and had a chance. And I don't know, again, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but if he did, that was absolutely disgusting because it was a really good zone entry. It faked me out, and I think it also faked the cameraman out because it looked like he was trying to turn the camera into the zone, into the corner. But, I mean, again, Flyers didn't score there, and then the Kings would get a power play on a hook on Lawton. I didn't necessarily love that call. I thought it was kind of one of them ticky-tack calls. Flyers were very patient. Couple good block shots. Kings, again, moved the puck well, cycled it. But the Flyers got sticks in lanes. They didn't really have anything too threatening to Hart, and the Flyers were able to kill that one off. Ratcliffe had a really nice hit behind the net. Just a bulldozer play. Just followed in from the blue line, finished his check, and that's what Ratcliffe said he wanted to do. He wanted to bring, a game where if it was a physical game, an offensive game, anything like that, and he did that. He had a really solid debut in this game. He had a couple chances, couple shots on net. He was all over it. Konechny had a chance where he fanned on and off a pass by Lawton. And the Flyers from there were able to just kind of continue and start to get pressure. Kings didn't have as many shots, and then they get a goal. Giroux, with the play that he honestly does, like he does this on an average 2 to 3 times a game. If he's at the red line, he'll just send a dump in on the goaltender, and it's a crazy bounce on quick. It comes up in the air, and Atkinson just fires the rebound top corner, glove side, and the Flyers lead 2-0. So it was all Flyers for a couple minutes. They had the Konechny chance, then they get the goal, and then they started to continue that. The Lawton line, I didn't necessarily think had a great first period. Looked like they were kind of slow defensively. It just didn't really look like, besides the chance in the opening minute, that was about it. And then they looked a lot better from there. They definitely continued, and that chance helped it. And then they went back out there again and started to get some things going. Flyers had a lot of good passes through the neutral zone. They got through the zone with speed, and they're able to create that with cycling, getting pucks to the net. Had a handful of shots. Then the Kings got their first shot in about 7 minutes of play or so, and then Hart made a really nice save on Anthony C right after that. Ratcliffe had a chance on a 2-on-1 rush. He was very close to his first NHL goal there. And then Arvidsson would score off a brutal play because Konechny had fanned on it. And he tried to get it back to York, and it was a play where he was kind of caught because York couldn't pinch, and Konechny didn't have enough time to get back. So the Kings go back on a 3-on-2. And I give Konechny credit here because he tried to get back as best as possible, but couldn't. And then it was basically a 2-on-0, and Dursey would slip it right over to Arvidsson, and there was nothing Hart could do. That was basically a goal before the puck even went in. So Yandel was not the best defensive play because that was York's side, and Yandel drifted over and then fell over, and that was it. So 2-1, Arvidsson scores. The Kings started to threaten after that. They had a handful of looks. Athanasiou had a chance driving the net late. So they go into the third, and the Flyers are still up by 1. They're up 2-1, and they get a power play off a really nice play. Lindblom with a smart pass in front Atkinson, and then he get high in front to Atkinson, then he got high sticked. So it's a power play for the Flyers. First unit didn't really do anything. Then Lindblom had a rebound on a Frost shot. That was probably the most threatening thing that happened there. But Arvidsson with a really nice dangle. Just goes around everybody, and that deflected wide and close. Kings had some pressure. Flyers really couldn't get the puck out clean. Then the Kings get a power play on a really bad call on Lindblom. They called it a hold when Dursey had the free hand out the whole time, and Lindblom didn't even take his hand off his stick. So I didn't really understand that call. A 2-1 lead, getting late in the later stages of the third period, I don't really love that call. So right off the faceoff, the Kings win it, and it goes back, and Atkinson beats Dowdy to the puck, goes down, makes a nice move, slam dunk on the rebound, 3-1. Flyers get the goal on the shorthanded one. That was Atkinson's 16th of the year. Just a great play, and overall, Atkinson he's played with so much energy, and that's one thing I've absolutely loved about Cam being here is he's made so many good plays consistently, and he scored big goals, and he has such an energy, and he's so positive, and it's just great, especially when you haven't won in 13 games and you snap that today. So on that same power play, the Kings would score 3-2. After that, they were threatening. The Flyers were basically on their heels, and it wasn't the first time in this game. And they get in, and Ristolainen has a clear with the empty net, so the Kings would take a timeout at 2:24. Then they get in. Nothing really crazy. They set up around the 50-second mark. Ristolainen goes to clear it. It hits hits Giroux, stays in the zone. Kings cycle it around, Hart's down, scramble, and Kopitar scores on the backhand, and it's a tie game. And it's like, when will anything ever go right for this team? It's so unfortunate. And the Kings score, but the Flyers right in overtime, right off the hop. They had a handful of chances. Atkinson right off the hop. They won the draw. They kept a couple plays alive, and then Atkinson would take a shot in the 3-on-3, and Lawton would be right there to slam it home on the doorstep. And it looked like it went off Provorov in front. I don't know if they've changed it to Provorov's goal. It looked like it deflected off Provorov's pad and went in, but we'll see if it's Lawton or Provorov. It doesn't matter. The Flyers win for the first time in 2022, and they break the 13-game losing streak. So I think there was a lot to build on here. I thought Frost had a really good game. That line is the Willman, Frost, and Mayhew line, the last 3 games, Dallas, the Islanders, and Los Angeles, that's been the best line every game. They've made plays offensively. Mayhew has scored 2 goals in back-to-back games here. Frost has had a handful of good plays setting up guys in the zone. He's played with a lot of confidence. They've won puck battles. They kept plays alive. They've been all over it. And it's like every time they've been out there these last couple of games, they're just absolutely relentless all over the opposition. And, they've been scoring off of it too. So it's a good thing to see for Frost because they're finally giving the kid a chance to play. I felt like they were kind of overcoaching him a little bit. Overall, the Flyers finally pick up a win. So again, I know I tweeted I'll be doing a snow angel, and once I finish this video and go start shoveling my driveway and the steps and everything, I will be doing that snow angel. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys again for watching. A big thank you to the sponsors, Garrett Group Construction, for any home improvement needs. If you mention Flyers Fan 93, you get 10% off there. Buttons, you can use code PHI for 10% off. And then SeatGeek, $20 off your first order with code FLYERSFANMANIA in all capital letters. Again, thank you guys for watching. And the Flyers pick up a win for the first time. And now we move on to Winnipeg. So again, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you all again soon.